What's up, YouTube? It's Andrew back again with another remote neural monitoring testimony video. I want to talk a little bit about the chief suspect behind the remote neural monitoring of my mind via V2K voice to skull technology and the help of law enforcement. I want to talk a little bit about a time back in 2013, 2012 when I realized that I had been remotely monitored while dating this girl, Anjanette Lanae Jaochico. I remember I was by a library in San Leandro. We were smoking. I think we were smoking a blunt. And, I don't do this anymore. But I remember 2 blocks down seeing a police officer drive by. This police officer never coming near me. But when I dropped her off at her house on Doolittle, I went inside. She asked if I wanted to stay, and I said no. I smell like smoke, and I'm gonna go home. And the moment I go outside, there's a police officer waiting right in front of the house that I had dropped her off at. And this police officer asked me, "Hey, what are you doing out so late?" And I said, "Hey, you know what? I'm just dropping off a friend, and I'm on my way home." And he said, "Oh yeah, well, what house?" I gave him the address, gave him the street that she was on, the street that we're on, which didn't make any sense for him to be asking that because I'm on the street. And as he's trying to distract me with asking me a bunch of questions, a police officer shows up on the opposite end of the street that he was on and pulls up to my car. And as I turn around, she has a flashlight pointing into my car, and she asked me, "Hey, you just leave your weed out like this?" So I knew at this time I had been being remotely monitored, so I was being followed. And I believe that Anjanette has everything to do with this monitoring. So I just want to mention, I stashed the weed in my car when I parked it, and when I came out, this police officer was there, but this police officer wasn't anywhere near me on the way back. I just had seen the police officer 2 blocks down, and then ended up wanting to leave. So then I leave. Somehow they made it on the same exact street that I was on, and happened to be at the same house that I dropped her off at when I walked outside. And so he asked for my ID. I give him my ID, my driver's license. He drops it on the ground, scrapes it with his boot, picks it back up, hands it to me. They ended up letting me go, but they had gone into my car while I was in the house and basically put my weed out in my car so they could come up, while distracting me, and ask me, "Hey, do you just leave this weed out like this?" And yeah, that was basically one staged event that I had witnessed back before I knew I was a targeted individual. And that's how I know that this has everything to do with Anjanette Lanae Jaochico and being remotely monitored. Because again, this police officer that I had seen drive by, or it was just a police car that I seen drive by 2 blocks down from where I was at, ended up leaving. Somehow when I come outside, this police officer is waiting for me outside. Okay, so this is basically the testimony video that I wanted to give to her girlfriend Vanessa via Zoom call. I decided to delete the message that I left her on her YouTube channel. I had left my phone number. And yeah, so you guys, all you targeted individuals out there, if you have relationships with anybody, just know there's always going to be a third party presence around no matter what. So if you're involving people in your plans, they're going to involve their people in your plans. So you got to watch out for this third party presence that's always around. And I knew when I seen this police officer, something felt funny. And, maybe it was just her. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I felt like, she had something to do with it. But long story short, you guys, a honey trap. You know what I'm saying? trying to get into my mind, gaslight me a little bit. And I'm not gonna lie, it did work, but I did find out later, 2018, when I donated money to her father's funeral fundraiser through GoFundMe on Facebook after finding that she was in a psilocybin mushroom group with me. I never consented to be in this group, so I knew law enforcement had something to do with putting me in this group on Facebook and also putting her in the group as well. So if you had been watching my videos, I deleted a lot of my videos because I really don't like making these videos, you guys. I really don't. But my testimonies have to be documented. And I remember everything that I said in all these other videos that I had posted, so I could always make them again. Alright, so this isn't stuff that I'm making up. This isn't something I have to think about to say, I already know what to say. Alright guys, I'm out.